Hello, fellow alumni. I'm so glad you could join us today. I'm Alison Cole, class of '99, and Executive Director of the Yale Alumni Association. And this is Yale Afternoons with Alison, a chance for us to sit down with university leaders and learn about their priorities and how our alumni can help. Today, I'll be sitting down with fellow alum Jeremiah Quinlan, Dean of Undergraduate Admissions and Financial Aid. What brought you to Yale as a student and then as an employee?
Yes, so what brought me to Yale was I arrived in the fall of 1999 as a first-year undergraduate, and what brought me to Yale was just the people from my high school. My senior year at Yale, I took a job the summer before my final year interviewing for the admissions office.
Cool.
And I discovered a couple things. I loved being in New Haven as an incredible city to be a young person in. And also just talking to students during the interview process about the college process and this time in their lives where it's like so much in front of them and there's this exciting choice and opportunity in front of them was something I really liked. So I actually started working in admissions right after I graduated. 2 months after I graduated from Yale, I started working as an assistant director in the admissions office.
Tell me, in your current role, what are your top 3 priorities?
We're about to head into admissions decision season and trying to think about how we can make our way through the thousands of students who want to come to Yale and choose those who not only are academically prepared to be really successful here, but also make the most of Yale's resources, contribute the most to Yale's community. That is a priority every year and has become more challenging, obviously, in the past year and a half since the Supreme Court decision sort of changed the legal landscape on us and the way that we can consider students' backgrounds. And so a lot of sort of the second priority, I would say, is like building the initiatives out around making sure that even though the law has changed, that students, counselors, families know that our priorities have not changed at Yale and the type of students we want to bring to Yale has not changed. And then the third priority is just communicating around affordability, making sure that the most talented students around the country and around the world understand that Yale is going to be one of the most affordable options for them, no matter their income, no matter their background.
How can the alumni who are listening right now assist you with these priorities?
The first thing they can do is definitely join us as a volunteer interviewer.
Okay.
In the admissions office, we have something called the Alumni Schools Committee, where we have thousands of alumni around the world dedicate their time to sit down with high school seniors and interview them as part of the admissions process. And it is a valuative part of the process. They have a conversation, relatively informal, hopefully at a coffee shop, like whatever Willoughby's analog there is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And they sit down with students and they ask them about sort of what they're interested in, why they're interested in Yale, what they've accomplished in high school. And those folks write a report that gets added to their file that we then review along with all the other parts of the application. The interview report is very valuable as like this spontaneous interaction with an applicant and an alum that I think provides a perspective on the applicant that we don't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I really want to highlight the interview because I used to sit in admissions committee when I worked in the Yale College Dean's office, and I think there's a lot of alums out there who, you know, they see that so few students get in, and it's such a difficult choice, but I have seen firsthand how important the interviews are in the selection process. So I just want to make a plug for more interviewers because I really do think that they have immense value in the application process and in the decision process that you're making.
Yeah, totally. I'm so glad that you can provide that kind of third-party perspective as a committee member. The second thing that alumni can do is help us just always make sure that when students are getting into Yale that they understand what kind of community this is. You know, we work with shared interest groups and other alumni groups, including our interviewers around the country, to have admitted student reception or the send-off receptions in August before folks arrive for their first year. And I would also just say that we have worked hard over the past few years as the numbers of applications have just increased to basically get the names to the volunteers who are competitive and who we need more information on. Instead of trying to do 40,000 interviews, we're trying to do 8,000 interviews. And so that means that you're interviewing the kids who are really close to contention for admission. And I think that makes our volunteers feel like their time is a little bit more better spent, frankly.
So can you highlight any alums who have done exceptional work on your behalf?
We have our ASC directors. These are the people in major cities around the world who coordinate the interviews. And this year, Will White, who was our ASC director in Beijing for 40 years, has been honored with the Yale Medal.
I love it.
And Will is one of these tireless volunteers for Yale, who in one of the most important sort of global cities, that when he first started interviewing for us, we probably had a few hundred applications, and now we have almost 1,000 applications from China. He himself conducts individual interviews from some of the most talented students from all over mainland China, and he dedicates more hours than many of our volunteers, and those reports really make a huge difference.
Congrats, Will, if you're out there listening. We were so pleased to honor you with the Yale Medal in November. What's your favorite spot on campus?
Tough question. I would say Hill House Avenue. Okay. Obviously, that's where the admissions office is located, so I'm partial. I feel like very fortunate every day that like my walk to my office is this incredible, called famously by Charles Dickens, the most beautiful street in America. I love that.
Favorite Yale memory?
I honestly would say from my undergraduate days, actually, it was the Harvard-Yale game in 1999. And I went to a really small high school, so the idea that there would be a football game of this magnitude was something that was new to me. We beat Harvard at like the last second and like the last minute, and it just was sort of one of those moments in your first year as an undergrad that just like is just incredible.
Okay, well, this is a more controversial question. Favorite New Haven pizza place?
It's a nuanced answer, as you might imagine.
Okay.
I lived across from Modern Pizza on State Street for 5 years, right after I graduated. So Modern is the answer. Okay. But the kind of more sort of specialty pies, the clam pizza at Pepe's, of course, is nothing like it. Okay. And the mashed potato bacon pizza at Bar.
Last question. What is one item you always keep on your desk?
One item I always keep on my desk. I have some hilarious Post-it notes from my daughters who come to work not so often, but every time they're there, they like to pretend that they're like leaving me notes, and like my sort of elementary school age kids like Zoom meeting with Barbara at 9 a.m. or phone call with this, and it's like they like imagine that they're like reading off the notes that are already on my desk, but they have a special childhood flavor, and they just like they're right by my phone, and they just crack me up every time I look at them.
That's amazing.
Post-it notes that are like telling me that I have these specific to-dos from my 5-year-old. Can't be.
Yeah. Well, we are so excited that you were here with us. We do have a thank you gift from the Yale collection for you.
Wow.
We got some chocolates and a book.
Thank you.
And so.
Wow. Thank you for everyone out there who volunteers to work with the Yale Admissions Office. We rely on the generosity of thousands of people, and we deeply appreciate it. We would not make it through all the applications and all the decisions that we have to make if we did not have your reports and your time. So thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you soon.